Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to League Racing TV, bringing you the action for round number 6 of the TTML F3 Championship. I am Michael Edwards, going to be taking you through the action tonight. Joined alongside me is the one, the only Mr. Storm Kings. How are you doing, Storm?
Yeah, I'm feeling for this one to be an absolute cracker, as you're not going to believe this. TTG Lemon, who was the race winner last week, has started on the intermediate tyres on a dry track.
He's on sauce for me.
Oh, it's showing me as... yeah, it's definitely showing to me as intermediate tyres.
I think the game is telling you porcupines. But, yeah, so we're here for round number 6 at the Belgian Grand Prix. Of course, what a track spot Francorchamps says, and I'm currently on board with Pariah, who's taking us through a lap as we go into turn 1. It's a very nice exit out of La Source, and now the run into Eau Rouge, and at the top of the hill through Radion onto the Camel Straight, keeps it all invalidated. DRS wide open now on the run through the Camel Straight. As we approach turn 7, 8 and 9 in the comms, and managed very lovely through there from Pariah, now into Brussels. The almost never-ending right-hander, very easy to scrub out wide in that corner as we go through turn 11, and there we go, he's run wide, but he's managed to keep his lap all valid as we go through Poulon. Lovely through there, now into 13, 14, the compost section, and very easy once again to one ride on exit now, and through Stavolo as we come up to the second sector split. Absolutely done to perfection right now as we head now towards Blanchemont. On the run down to the bus stop chicane to finish this lap. Pariah going to be the first man to put a lap time on the board into the bus stop chicane, now braking at the 100-meter board, second gear, and manages to get himself through. Bus stop, very simple, very easy, and it's a 43.3 to kick us off.
Yeah, very well done on the first lap for Pariah. I'm just going to ride on board, I think, with Carlsbury from the Alfa Romeo team. I believe his teammate is here this week. He is. Obviously, one DNF already, which is, I believe that is an Alpine. Or is that Red Bull? There's too many blues on here. But, Wesker sets the pace as well in P2 with a 1:44.4 in the Aston Martin.
And it's Williams for the Mickey.
Oh, there's Sector 2 and... Oh, no, all sectors are now showing up on my screen. Angela Flag. I don't know if my game is potentially giving me...
CR7 here coming into the pits, thinking the walls are like bumper... You know, it's like bumper cars with a wall.
Yeah, I think El Rouge going into Radion might cause a few drivers to spin. A few are on the medium compound tyre. That may be the better option on the banker laps, obviously, for the final run on the soft compound tyre.
They're all on sauce for me.
Yeah, I think this lobby might be glitched, I think, because I'm showing TMC CR7.
Pepper there with a fantastic lap, puts himself up in the provisional pole, a 42.6. It's a big lap. It's a big lap from Free Pepper. As I'm currently on board with FPL Vettel in the McLaren as he comes through Buon. His teammate coming into the bus stop chicane right now. Let's actually have a look and see what Mad Jonas is doing through the bus stop chicane. DRS wide open. to the line will come Mad Jonas, and it is provisional pole by 2 tenths, and Frey Pepper is out.
Yeah, I don't quite know what happened. They might have done it in the pits, but yeah.
No, he's up at the end of the Camel Straight. He's lost it in the comms.
Oh, not a good place to lose it there, especially when he's in P2. He may have felt he could have challenged for that pole position, as Colesbury has retired.
Oh, that's on the exit of turn 16.
Yeah, as Dylan has invalidated, I believe that's coming out of El Rouge into Radion, so he will have to go round for another lap. As I'm going to ride on board with last week's race winner in Silverstone, which is TTG Lemon. He's just coming to the end of Radion. He's going to use that DRS as well. He takes the curb quite a bit, as there's a sector 1 and 2 yellow flags. I believe that is a McLaren.
Yeah, McLaren going slow. It's probably Mad Jonas just trying to get out of everyone's way. As I'm currently on board with Scuba in the Red Bull, so a little bit further up the head than Lemon is in terms of on track. So we'll see what Scuba can do, and then we'll cut back and have a look and see what last week's race winner Lemon is doing. But to the line will come Scuba right now, and it is going to be 42.9. So starting to see some drivers now in the 42s more consistently, and Lemon's invalidated.
Yeah, I just seen that myself as well. So I think Lemon will obviously want to go again with 9 minutes left on the clock. We know obviously El Rouge can cause the understeer in the car to kind of then unfortunately put them in the wall. But I think lap 1 could be quite interesting.
Lap 1 could definitely be interesting. A small, a short run into La Source in turn 1 is gonna. It's going to provide a very interesting turn 1, shall we say. Very, it can be very chaotic, but it can also provide some good, clean side-by-side racing through turn 1.
Yeah, and obviously we don't know the weather for the race, so it could rain in the race. Obviously, I don't think we will see any rain with obviously these times at the moment that the drivers are setting. But only 10 drivers have set laps. The other 9 haven't set laps, so we've got around about 8 minutes left. Anyone that you may see that might get that pole position?
I mean, I'm currently on board with CR7, the championship leader, and we'll go through the championship in a short moment. But CR7 coming through Stavro, and he is purple in the middle sector, so this could be a very good lap from the Red Bull. He has been leading by example so far this season. Couple of fantastic performances, and we'll see if he can continue on that trend here tonight. Into the bus stop chicane will come CR7. Runs a little bit deep on the exit, but doesn't matter, it's still provisional pole position.
Fantastic lap there for the championship leader in the Red Bull. It's quite interesting to see that how Mercedes will go this week, because we saw team orders not go that great for them in Silverstone. Lemon obviously is a reserve, so he's gone to Mercedes with Legend this week. I just wonder if Lemon will kind of play that team order, knowing that he does have that race win from last week.
I mean, the thing is, last week, I mean, we saw it, Legend and Stevie, they had very similar pace, so it was very difficult for one to say, okay, I'm going to let you go ahead and I'm going to defend and accept being second of the Mercedes cars. But obviously, Stevie not here, so Lemon taking that seat. It's going to bring another dynamic. I think Lemon will be more on the pace and Legend will towards the top end, but obviously being on pole position here doesn't really matter, as you got a big opportunity to get some fantastic slipstream on the run down in through the Kemmel straight into Lake Combs.
Yeah, a lot of the drivers are more in the 143s than they are the 142s. Only 5 drivers have hit into the 142s. One of them has DNF, which is currently now dropped down to P3. It is quite interesting to see quite a lot of the drivers have not set laps yet. Maybe they are going for the one run. In your own opinion and your obviously own strategy, would you go for maybe multiple runs around Belgium, or would you leave it and do the maybe one run?
I mean, I would go for as many runs as I could possibly get. So I would maybe try and do 2 laps back to back initially, and then do 1 lap on a fresh set, and if I need to at the end, do another lap on a fresh set of tyres.
Yeah, as it looks to be that the both Ferraris are sitting comfortably in P7 and P8 at the moment. They are in the pits. I'm just trying to wonder who is out at the moment. CR7 is out at the moment. He is the pole sitter, so we'll try and go on board with someone else. We'll go on board back with TTG Lemon, as he is going to come through El Rouge into Radion.
Yeah, but I'm currently on board with FNR Jagermol, who's just setting up his lap, and he's going to get himself underway now. Coming into La Source. Lovely, negotiated very well there from the man in the Haas as he runs down now towards Eau Rouge and Radion. And I believe yellow flags up ahead. That was one of the Mercedes going slow. Was that Lemon or Legend?
I think that might have been Legend, as Lemon is quite far ahead. The 2 Mercedes are in front of each other with the 2 Red Bulls right behind them. So that is not really what I think they want to do.
Jagermol exceeding the track limits and invalidating his lap, and we got Scuba now in Pouron, and he is going to get through that without any invalidations. Just going to quickly jump on board with the Mercedes. So Lemon has invalidated once again. Legend is going strong. He's kept it valid, but he is well off the pace on the run down into Blanchimont.
Yeah, so just going through the Drivers' Championship, Wesker is the closest to CR7, and currently at the moment Wesker is in P12, so it's not really looking his night tonight in the Aston Martin. He hasn't got his teammate here either. Oh yes, he has. His teammate has retired in P3, well now P4 should I say. Scuba goes into the top 3 into 3rd place. So is the championship fight still on, do you think, between them two? Or now you see Wesker in P12, do you think maybe CR7 has the chance to pull away and get maximum points from here and kind of put the title fight out of anyone's reach?
CR7 does have a championship lead of 35 points to his name. That's more than a race victory here in TTML. And obviously CR7, he's going to want to keep this form going, but he'll know he's got the points there. He can afford to finish in, you know, a 2nd or a 3rd on that Wesker or even Yaham, who is only 1 point behind Wesker. You know, take a victory, and I'm pretty sure CR7 right now is going to play more the championship game, just trying to score consistent points and try to just go out there and absolutely dominate. But I'm pretty sure it's not over yet. But if CR7 outscores both Wesker and Yaham by a very big amount of points, and also NSR Gals as well, who is in 4th place on 78 points, CR7 could put this championship beyond reach for him, as Lemon finally gets a lap on the board, and it's 147.4.
Yeah, I don't think that's the lap that TTG Lemon wanted, obviously. He did start down quite low, I believe, in Silverstone last week, so maybe it might be his strategy to go for that alternative strategy around Belgium because of potentially safety cars, virtual safety car, or even rain. So he may be taking that into consideration when doing laps. As Scuba has retired, Legend and Powdy are the only two drivers that are still able to set a lap that haven't set a lap at the moment. So they are on outlaps at the moment. Powdy gone for the medium compound tyre. The Alpine team haven't had the best of season. They are currently in P9.
Pariah is invalidated at the top of Radion, so that's Pariah's qualifying session over and done with.
Yeah, as I'm still on board with Lemon. He's not invalidated, but I believe he is up on his time. As Mad Jonas has now started his flying lap as well, as we get into the last, I believe, minute. Yep, 23 seconds left on the clock for the drivers to complete their final run. As we come now to the end of qualifying, I will hand you over and we will get the last few laps completed.
Yeah, I was just on board with Oscar as he comes into the pit lane, so he's now going to finish his lap. And now, obviously, the checker flag has fallen, so Dylan, Dylan, Oscar, and Lemon not going to find much more. Lemon did improve, but it's an improvement. He gets him at one position, but he's not going to put himself flying up the order. But yeah, Pariah invalidated his lap. We got a spinner, and that is Powdy, who has gone around. So Powdy's not going to be improving. He's going to have to start all the way down in 18th place, as we got Wesker, who will be the next man to cross the line. He is all valid right now. He does have a McLaren in behind, and look at the traffic coming through sector 2 right now. Is the Mercedes, the Red Bull, the Haas, I believe is also the I think it's Dylan's AI that's also there as well. And as we come through the bus stop chicane, Pariah does retire in the pit. Here comes Wesker to the line, and he gets himself up into 3rd place. A big lap there from Wesker, and he needed that.
Yeah, fantastic lap there for the Aston Martin driver. Wesker, obviously, massive championship fight in Belgium. I think Belgium could be that race where we go back at the end of the season and go, that was the race where the title was maybe lost, or it was where it changed hand. Well, obviously, it's not going to change hands this race, but
Legend up into 7th there, so good luck from Legend. As Jagermol Jagermol and CR7. Jagermol has invalidated. CR7 is still on a valid lap. He'll cross the line. I think he backed off. He didn't want to improve on that time.
Yeah, as it is CR7 that takes pole position. I will hand you over to yourself for the race, well, the qualifying results.
Okay, so the man starting on pole position is the championship leader, the man in the Red Bull, Mr. CR7, with a 142.2, ahead of Mad Jonas in the McLaren. So Mad Jonas will be on the front row. In 3rd place, we have Wesker in the Aston Martin, looking for a big result here tonight, with Scuba in 4th. Then we got Free Pepper in 5th, and FPL Vettel in 6th, Legend in 7th, NLR Dylan in 8th, Jagermol in 9th, and then Gals rounding out the top 10. And outside the top 10 with 3 choice to tire compound, we got Robin, Pariah, Oscar, Carlsbury, Lemon, Chris, Poldy, Lemmy K and Yaham. And Lemmy K and Yaham did not set a lap time in qualifying, so big work for those two to do tonight.
Yeah, definitely a lot of work for the people at the back of the grid. Obviously, we don't know the weather, but we will find out just in a moment's time. I wouldn't be surprised if it is a dry race. Yep, as it is a dry race. So, before we do start the race, there will be a one-lap formation. If you are at the front of, obviously, in CR7 or maybe in Wesker's position, would you try and go for an overtake down into turn 1, or would you just want to hold off until you go up to El Rouge and Radion?
Well, if you're CR7, you wouldn't mind being overtaken into turn 1, just because you can use that slipstream then to get back through down the Camel Straight. If you're Wesker, you want to stick in behind, get the slipstream, get the tow, and try and use that to try and take the lead. But it's going to be interesting to see how these guys get on. Obviously, the formation lap we will be on right now, so we get to check the tyre compound of everyone. And the only man outside the top 10 to go for a set of the soft tyres is Oscar in the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, very interesting tyre strategies there. I think maybe the one stop might be a good option. Obviously, it's only 22 laps. I think it's the shortest 50% race, because obviously the track distance is, I believe, one of, or is the longest track distance
It is the longest.
on the F1. Yeah, I thought it would be. Maybe the two-stop might come into effect because of a potential safety car, because of lap 1. Obviously, we know that safety cars can happen. It's kind of, the safety car happening is, I believe, the same rate maybe as like Monaco, where it's pretty much guaranteed that we will have at least one safety car.
I mean, I wouldn't say we're guaranteed a safety car, but around Belgium it is pretty likely. But while these guys are on the formation lap, I'm going to take you through the championship standings very quickly. So CR7 leading the way on 117 points, ahead of Wesker in second on 82 points. Yaham in third on 81, with NSR Gals on 78 points in fourth. FPL Vettel on 57 points, with Stevie G on 55. Lemon also on 55 points. Scuba on 51, Hapuli Boy on 46, and TTG Robin rounding out the top 10 in the championship on 43 points. And outside the top 10, Legend also on 43 points, Lemmy K on 42, Mad Jonas on 42 in 12th and 13th respectively, Yoki on 36, NLR Dylan on 24, ahead of NSR Pariah on 23, that's 15th and 16th, CPI Vettel on 13 points, then we got Pro Swilder on 11 points, Jagermol on 10 points in 19th place, and then Ariel Nolan there in 20th on 8 points. And in terms of the constructors, Red Bull lead the way, 168 points to their name, Williams in second on 120, then we got McLaren in third on 99, and Aston Martin in fourth on 82, 70 points for the Mercedes. Alpha Tauri's on 62 points, the Haas on 57, then of course we got the Ferraris on 55, and then 9th and 10th tied for points, Alpine and Alfa Romeo both on 8 points apiece.
Yeah, as the drivers are now going to get in to the grid slots, I will hand you over to Ivor, Bryn, Mike for the race start in TTML F3 for the Belgian Grand Prix.
Yeah, as we sit here and we await the red lights that are about to come on, and here they are, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights are out and we are underway here for round number 6 in F3 at TTML, and CR7 covering off into turn 1, but that's Wesker down the inside of Mad Jonas into the source as we filter through quite a few people side by side on the run down towards Rouge and Radion. Scuba staying ahead of Frey Pepper. You can see Mad Jonas there looking to get a little bit spicy on lap 1 with Wesker trying to go side by side through Rouge and Radion, and look at the slipstream in effect now on the run down the camera straight into the comms. Oh, a bit of contact there with Mad Jonas and Scuba's around.
Yeah, it, as there's a Williams. Yeah, I think it was more of a push and shunt through the midfield pack there. Unfortunate there for Scuba, but he has got 21 laps and a half to kind of, you know, get himself back up the grid. And I'm sure with his pace, he will get back up there. Not many changes though, but the two McLarens are currently in P3 and P4.
Yeah, and I think with Scuba, having that contact with Mad Jonas, I think it slowed down Frey Pepper enough that Legend and Vettel have been able to get ahead of him, and Frey Pepper's out. Oh wow!
It's the first has retired, I believe, in Sector 3. I'm not quite sure where that is because his car has now disappeared, but that is one of the Aston Martins out of the race.
Yeah, so Frey Pepper has lost it. Stavilo.
Yep, as Dylan is in the pit, so I wonder if that is for a wing change, or he might be doing it because of the virtual safety car. You won't lose as much time. Very, yeah.
And the Mickey.
So I believe this is a strat. Well, it might be, it might not be. Obviously, they probably were expecting at least maybe one VSC or safety car to kind of get one free pit stop. So they're going to go on for the medium compound tyre. So they'll probably go to the end of the race, I think, maybe, unless there is a safety car and they do go back on the soft compound. But we are still under the VSC on lap 2.
Yes, we are, and the VSC has been out for a very long time, in my opinion, and I hope it goes away soon. And yep, there we go, it's gone now. So CR7 has a bit of a lead right now to Wesker, who is going to be under pressure from Mad Jonas for second place. FPL Vettel is right in there as well, so it's going to be some good points for the McLaren duo here tonight. The Ferrari's running strong in 6th and 7th, and is that Lemmy K around again? It is Lemmy K around again. Oh,
yeah,
no.
not a... Oh, as FP Vettel is out of the race.
Oh, that's a big impact there, and that is in the wall on the run towards Stavilo.
And Lemmy K, I think I might have pronounced that wrong, is also out of the race, Sector 2, yellow flags.
Yeah, Lemmy K, that's in Brussels, where he has crashed out there. Unfortunately, there's no one close to him that we can see exactly where he ended up losing it to, but we're starting to get ourselves underway again. Is lap 3 of 23 doing now so far.
Look at that, they were starting in P11 and P12 and have got themselves up to P5 and P6, and they are doing the team orders as Pariah is now going to take into P5, but Lemon is right on the back as he's going to battle with TTG Robin. The two TTG drivers having a little bit of battle, and looks like Lemon is going to go down the inside. Is he going to get the move done? They're going to battle medium versus medium compound, Mercedes versus Ferrari. This is one for the fans, I think. We don't really get to see Mercedes and Ferrari battle, but when they do, it's an instant classic.
Yeah, and we got NSR Gals now looking to try and take advantage of Robin being overtaken there into Pouron, but he's going to have to sit in behind for the time being. And yeah, I think as you were saying, a bit of team orders between Pariah and Robin there, but I think it was more to do with just the fact that Pariah had DRS.
Oh, as a Sector 2 yellow flags, that is an Alpha Tauri.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yagamore had a half spin, and Chris has gone for a bit of a spin himself, and Yagamore and Poldy side by side on the run down into Blanchimont, and Yagamore stays ahead of Poldy. Yaham doing good so far, coming from the back of the grid up into 11th right now.
Yeah, also Carlsbury in for Alfa Romeo doing quite well as well, as he's in P8, but he has got a Williams behind him, as they're now going to come out of La Source into El Rouge. This could be crucial for the corner entry and corner exit, because it sets up for the Kenmore Straight into the DRS. And look at the toe that Williams is getting on Carlsbury. I suspect there will be an overtake for P8.
Yep, and up ahead we see Mad Jonas has managed to get through on Wesker as well. I was on board with this battle that you was talking about, so we missed this overtake from Mad Jonas on Wesker, but yep, Mad Jonas now ahead of the Aston Martin.
Yeah, as I believe TTG Lemon has got past both of the Ferrari, so this is going to be kind of a battle between the Ferrari drivers and the Mercedes drivers, kind of what we used to many years ago in the real life F1.
I think it's a battle of the Ferrari-powered teams right now, with Alfa Romeo taking it to Ferrari. I think that's what we got at the moment.
Yeah, as Carlsby is right on the back of TTG Robin as they now come through. It looks to be, yeah, it is going to be the Ferrari engine, well, the Ferrari Academy team. You might as well put them as they're really showing what they're made of in Belgium tonight. Maybe the team orders for Alfa Romeo may come into effect as well.
Nah, I can't see that happening. Carlsby, I don't think is gonna want to drop a spot to his teammates. If it was still lap 2, 3, I can see him doing it, but now it's lap 5. Those soft tires, they're gonna be approaching the latter stages of the advantage that the soft tires will have, and I was just on board with.
As both Alfa Romeos have gone into the wall, as they both collide together, as I think they tried to overtake each other, and they both, I believe, have now got wing damage, as Colesby's teammate has. Yeah, that is not going to go down well in the team briefing, as look at the positions Colesby is losing.
Yeah, Carlsby down the order. I wasn't on board with that, so I'm going to have to rely on you for information on that incident. What exactly happened between them?
It was literally as they were coming down the Kemmel Straight. I don't know if obviously if they're in a party or not, but as they came to the end of it, I don't think they noticed each other there, and Colesby just moves over and he just squeezes his teammate into the wall, nearly causing a DNF.
Wow, so that's going to be an interesting one for the stewards between the teammates if they're going to be reporting it. I smell a Rosberg Hamilton situation. They just don't like each other.
Definitely. Yeah, I think that was the kind of situation. It wasn't a massive squeeze into the wall. It was just like, this is my space. Can you kind of getting the elbows out. I think Colesby's teammate Oscar wanted the position. Carlsby wasn't going to give it up, and it was just kind of ended in, well, you either take it from me or I'm going to defend kind of situation. And it has affected them as they are now in P12 and P16.
Yep, and that's why, guys, when you're in a team, it's better to work together as a team. Because if you fight your teammates like that, you can end up not only losing yourself a lot of points, but also your team a lot of points.
Yeah, just a quick note, Legend is up now to P3 as Wesker has dropped down to P4, so this may be a Mercedes tactical situation because of Legend on the soft compound tyre. So when he does pit, Lemon will go in front of him, so then Mercedes still have a car in that race fight for the race lead.
Yeah, so I was on board when Legend overtook Wesker. It was DRS down the Kemmel Straight, as I believe that's Dylan around, and it is Dylan in the wall.
Yep, he's got no wing at all, as hopefully comes back on the track nice and safe. Yep, as he is now going to be into the pits. I wouldn't be surprised for another set of mediums, as the softs they wouldn't last. I don't think, unless he's got some mad tyre management. I think it will be for another set of mediums.
Mad Jonas has had a mistake somewhere because he's dropped down into 4th.
As AFRL Chris gets the 3-second time penalty. Oh, as we have some first pit stops, which is Legend and Wesker into the pits, so that promotes TTG Lemon up to P3 and Pariah up into P4, and also TTG Robin, who is in P5, but he's got a Williams right behind him with a Haas also right behind him as well, as they go through into El Rouge up to the Kemmel Straight.
Yep, through El Rouge and Radiones, our girls getting very brave there on the curbs, and it's not something that I would do. I wouldn't play around with those curbs, but with DRS, ERS, Robin moved to cover, but and Sargal's able to find his way through. I think what we looked at then, Robin went over to move to cover, realised that the closing speed of guys was a bit too much, and both of them, I think, absolutely they were turtling. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah. If it's like this Belgian Grand Prix, we are seeing people sticking the elbows out, like commanding that this is their position, they're going to defend it. As you saw with the Alfa Romeos, it was like that. It's kind of, as you mentioned, the Rosberg, and the Hamilton situation. It's also most like the incident that happened. It was more the situation of the Baku, where we had Ricciardo and Verstappen, where Ricciardo went right. I think it might have been Ricciardo, right into the back of Verstappen down the straight in Baku.
No, that was Verstappen into the back of.
Apologies there. It was the other way around. So it was kind of that situation where neither of them wanted to give or defend or anything. So, as both Alfa Romeos have now dropped to P14 and P15 on lap 8 of 22.
Yeah, and interesting. So Legend and Wesker have gone for another set of the soft tyres. So they are going on a 2-stop here.
Yeah, that is quite interesting, as Lemon is not a full-time driver. He's a reserve driver. So you thought Legend would get the priority strategy of the soft to the medium compound tyre. But that's not the case. It may be that Lemon's...
On Robin looking to the inside, and bit of wheel-to-wheel contact, and looks like Robin's going to be able to just about hold on there.
I think that battle for P5, maybe going into P4, maybe where it might be the battle to watch, I think, because it's just on the cusp of a podium. Obviously, it does offer quite a lot of points to the driver and their team as well. As we know, Ferrari are kind of in that mix, I think, as well as Williams as well. Obviously, Mercedes are in there as well, so it's kind of not just the driver championship they're in for the fights, but the constructors as well.
Yeah, so in terms of Williams, they're trying to close in on Red Bull tonight. So that was their task, along as McLaren also trying to close in. Aston Martin, difficult for them to close in now, obviously, with Frey Pepper being out of this race. And in fact, same for McLaren, actually, with Vettel being out of the race. As Robin had a look down the inside of NSR girls there, and Jagermo's going to peel off into the pit. He doesn't want to be stuck behind these two any longer.
It looked like with a 1:45.2 on the soft compound tyre, so maybe the drivers are going to go for the mediums in the second run as they go through El Rouge into Radion and then onto the Kemmel Straight. It is going to be Williams versus Ferrari.
And keep an eye on Johan behind. He's going to get the double toe here.
He's not got the move done as Colesbury goes even quicker with a fastest lap of a 1:44.8.
Yeah, so interesting thing now is, obviously, we're starting to see the first load of pit stops come in. Legend and Wesker confirmed on the 2-stop. Scuba has got to be on the 2-stops. He pitted at the start of the race. Jagermo is most likely going to the end of the race, same as Oscar and definitely Dylan. They're going to be going to the end of the race. Carlsbury, I think, may have to pit again.
Yeah, I think he will. Scuba's an interesting one. He's on 6-lap mediums. They might last, but I can't see them going the full distance. I don't think he'll end up on the podium. Oh, as Scuba has a little bit of understeer, and that puts Jägermal right behind, as Power and Legend are battling just in front as they now come up to the bus stop chicane as Legend gets the move done.
Guys is into the pits, and he'll drop down Yoda. Be interesting to see where he comes out relative to Jagermal. Jagermal coming into the bus stop chicane right now, and guys haven't even come into his pit box. So Jagermo, by getting out of that battle early, by going for the undercut, now we're going to see the advantage of the undercut for him as he already through the source, and he's jumped NSR Girls by a good 2 seconds, I see.
Yeah, I wouldn't obviously say it's been a bit of a boring race, because obviously we've had quite a lot of action packed in Belgium, just really offer what the wet races do offer.
Well, it is getting a little bit overcast right now, and
yeah,
honestly, if it's getting overcast right now, and this might make more sense of why Legend and Wesker have gone for the soft tyres, are we going to get some changeable conditions here? It's getting darker. The clouds are coming.
Yeah, I think you might be right with the weather, as Dylan picks up the first 3-second time penalty for himself this evening. If I'm right in thinking, I have just seen the first spots of rain coming down on the track, so the soft. We may have to call you Mystic Mike, as the track is now going to start getting wetter. So we've kind of got that Russia GP situation. Obviously, I know the drivers will switch to the intermediates, but when do you switch to the intermediates? Do you wait till DRS is disabled, or do you go early?
Well, this is such a long track. You have to really time it. And honestly, right now, if I was on track right now, I would have my tire temperatures open right now. I would be absolutely monitoring that. As soon as I see that the fact that I cannot keep the heat in those tires, that's the time to pit. But
yeah,
you can see, look how quickly the rain can come down and make the track very slippery. And it's just such a long lap that, obviously, for someone like Dylan or Oscar, like, they could pit right now and it'd be perfect for them. But CR7 would have a long way to go before he can get into the pits. And yeah, we're seeing Chris, Oscar, and Dylan now into the pit lane.
Yeah, obviously, as we've seen in the real life Belgium Grand Prix, when it does start to rain, it does rain in Belgium. It does get the track very wet quite quickly, so I suspect within 2 to 3 laps that we will see the intermediate tyres as the back of the grid, the first 3 on the intermediate tyres. So maybe on that crossover period of the dry intermediate tyres.
It's in does now.
Yeah, definitely. You can see the drivers are losing a little bit of grip. I think it might be the grip, as DRS is now disabled.
Yeah, I mean, once again, Mystic Mike, you can see his Indes conditions before DRS gets disabled. Like why didn't they just put me in the race control? Like, I mean, I'll sort everything out. As we got CR7 into the pits, Lemon will come into the pits also. The issue now is that Wesker, he forced himself into making the pit stop, and now he's all the way down in 8th place. He's lost out massively by pitting.
Oh, as Powdy goes really wide on the exit of stop chicane.
Yeah, that's going to be his conditions.
Yeah, I just wonder if now being on the intermediate tyres, going up El Rouge is just going to be that little bit trickier. The drivers are just going to take that speed, that top speed, kind of like go a little bit slower going up El Rouge. It's a tricky one, I think, going up El Rouge, especially with the weather.
Yeah, you have to lift off now. You are not going through El Rouge flat in intermediate conditions. That is not happening. And obviously, a big lift off there from Yaham. Yeah, obviously your line also, that's going to be crucial now through El Rouge and Radion. You get your line a little bit wrong, you have to lift off a lot more than what you'd want to, and honestly, it's going to be one of those cases where going through there now for the next couple of laps is going to be so sketchy for these drivers, and very easily we could lose 5 drivers in the space of 2 laps.
Yeah, I think, obviously, like you said, we may see a few more DNFs, as every driver is now on the intermediate tyres. Now everybody has pitted and they are on the fresh compound tyre. I just wonder if we may see a few more overtakes coming, obviously, now because of the pit stops and everybody just having that reset button of, you know, especially the Alfa Romeos who had that incident in the dry conditions. I just wonder if somebody can challenge.
Chris runs wide and loses 2 spots to Jagermore and Scuba. So there's one little switcheroo there for you. The only other close battle I can see on track is the one for 4th between Pereira and Yaham, but Scuba is closer to Jagermore than what Yaham is to Pereira. So we'll go on board with the Red Bull right now. He seems the most likely to try and make a move. And it'll be interesting to see who was actually running a pretty wet setup. But to me it looks like Lemon CR7. Has that gap closed down a bit, or am I...
It looks to be fluctuating between 2.6 and 2.8 on my screen, but I do think one of them is running a wet sub or has just adjusted.
And here goes Scuba. Scuba is going to look to the outside for turn 1 on Jagermore. It's going to be squeezed to the edge of the track. Can Scuba pull this off? It'll be brilliant if he does, but he gets onto the curb. You don't want to be putting the traction down out there. Very slippery now, the exit curb of La Source as we run down through Eau Rouge and Radion. And yep, look at that, the understeer just dragging Scuba wide. A big old lift off here as we run now down the Camel Straight, and I don't think Scuba's going to be close enough to really go for the move here.
Yeah, just looking at it and everything. Oh, as one of the AlphaTauris, which is Chris, right behind, just completely cuts the corner. Oh, as he spins. Oh, as that causes Carlsbury to really take evasive action and go off the track, as that is a Sector 2 yellow flags.
Sector 2 yellow flag. He's going to get himself back underway. Yaham all over the back of Pereira. The green flags are back out. No safety cars so far tonight, and honestly it's kind of a good and a bad thing as Chris is now dropping down the order. Obviously it's a good thing for these guys because you don't want to be bunched up bunched up around the track like this in terms of just trying to keep it on track in the intermediate conditions, but also you kind of do want it to be bunched up because then you get some decent action, because there's what is it, 2 battles going on right now.
Yeah, as I believe Pereira is having to defend from the AlphaTauri. I just wonder, going up El Rouge, being that car that is attacking with the spray coming off the car that is in front of you, it can be an absolute nightmare for a driver because you can't see anything, as it looks like Pereira is trying to break that toe even on intermediate tyres.
I mean, the good news for Pereira is he does have the massive ERS advantage, so he shouldn't really come under real threat down the main streets. Obviously down the Camel Straight shouldn't really come under pressure on the run down the Blanchimano into the bus stop. The issue is, as Chris has retired from the session in the pit lane, the real issue for Pereira right now is the fact that Yaham is going to be all over the back of you. You just do not want to make a mistake. That's going to be the issue for Pereira right
as Yaham just had a little bit of understeer, so that will not help him. What's quite surprising, even if it is dry or as Yaham gets talking about penalties, not many drivers have penalties, and they are literally maybe 3 seconds. I know Robin might have 6 seconds, I believe. I will just double check that. No, it's all 3. So they've kept it quite clean on the on that side of it, on the track limits as well. So it is an interesting one because obviously we know the track limits for Belgium are kind of a bit ridiculous. As going up El Rouge, you can easily get a track warning. I just wonder if this battle for P4 is going to go till the end of the race. But look at Legend, he's just sitting behind this battle for P4, probably licking his lips thinking, yeah, just keep battling, make a mistake and I will pounce on it.
Well, Johan already has made a mistake. Scuba into the back of Jägermol there. Battle for 11th. But yeah, Yaham's already made a mistake. He's picked up that 3-second time penalty. And that's purely down to frustration and just being stuck behind this Ferrari. He wants to get past. He doesn't have the ERS to get past. And that's the issue for Yaham right now. He's getting frustrated. He's getting a little bit impatient, as is Scuba as well, as he's been stuck behind Jägermol for quite some time, and now he's got a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, I just wonder, with Legend being stuck behind P4 and P5 of Yaham and Pariah, it gives Wesker that chance to maybe close up that gap to Legend in the last 5 or 6 laps.
Well, time will tell. Right now, there's a 6.5 second gap between Wesker and Legend. Obviously, right now, Yaham, if it was to finish with the gaps as they are, would only lose a spot to Legend. Wesker's got a big job to do if he wants to try and get himself up to fight with Legend, but if anything, I'd say Poldy is closing in on Wesker better than what Wesker's closing in on Legend.
Yeah, and it just shows how incredible the pace is for TTG Lemon, showing again that he can mix up with the best in this tier. Obviously, he's currently in P2, no penalties again, so in his second week in a row, could potentially be on for a fantastic result in TTML F3. Just a reminder, he is a reserve driver, not a full-time driver. So maybe he's knocking on the door thinking...
In the bus stop chicane, this side-by-side, Scuba tried it around the outside. Carlsbury has also managed to get through. He's taking an opportunistic moment there to try and sneak past. And Carlsbury's going to send it down the inside. Oh, okay. Carlsbury wants to try and make these moves, get a little bit dicey. You don't want to be obviously just sending it in the wet conditions like that. Very easy to just slide straight on. But yeah, Pariah with a penalty now.
Yeah, so that could be quite interesting. This does open the opportunity for Legend to gain not 1 but 2 positions if he can keep within that range of around about 3 seconds.
Jägermol's around. A little bit of contact between Jägermol and Carlsbury, and Jägermol's in the wall, and is big front wing damage.
Yeah, that is not what Jägermol wanted to do, and that is the other Alfa Romeo gonna, I suspect, overtake Jägermol, as Jägermol is going rather slow. He's gonna let the Alfa Romeo...
I don't think he's got a front wing.
Oh, okay. But he is gonna, I reckon, let the Alfa Romeo through quite... Yep, there you go. He's also going to let Dylan through as well, I believe. And that has gone from bad to worst for the Haas driver.
Yeah, so I was on board with that battle between Carlsbury and Jägermol. So, obviously, they were side by side at the end of the Kemmel Straight going into the comms complex of 7, 8 and 9. So what we had was a good side-by-side action through 7, and very acute placement of the car for Carlsbury. He gave enough room to where it's all fair, but he placed his car perfectly so that if Jägermol understeered, he was going to make contact with him and spin out. So it was all car placement for Carlsbury, and Jägermol just understeered and spun off the rear tyres.
Yeah, as Jägermeier has now retired, I believe that is in the pits. Yeah, that is in the pit. I don't see the top 3 changing at all now, because Mad Jonas has that nearly 10 second. As the AlphaTauri of Yaham is getting a little bit of understeer. I just wonder if he's got floor damage.
Potentially, or So you have a little bit of wing damage. It made a little bit of contact on the back of Pariah's car. No, it looks all fine.
Yeah, as Legend is keeping within that 1 second kind of range, but look at the exit that Yarham gets on Pariah into the start-finish line as they now come onto lap 18 down into La Source for turn 1 as they will now exit that. It just seems like Yarham has to correct himself as he comes out of the corners. He's got to correct the car, and he might just get in that little bit of understeer that he doesn't want.
Yeah, it seems like Yarham, he pushed to try and get past Pariah a couple of laps ago, and now we're seeing obviously Pariah now starting to use a bit more ERS. Yarham, I think, as his ERS still on, he may have an issue with his ERS stuck open.
Yeah, it is kind of an issue, I think, because that red light is flashing as he's using it.
Oh, there we go. It's gone off.
Yeah, as it goes off. I don't think Wesker's going to close that gap, as he's now 7 seconds behind Legend. That is going. Oh, as Mad Jonas gets a 3-second time penalty. So, but I don't think, no, that won't make any difference, as he's 9.1 seconds in front of Pariah for P3. So it is currently going to be, at the moment, CR7 in for the race win at the moment, but anything can change with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, absolutely. A 3-second time penalty for CR7 really opens it up for Lemon. And obviously, while the gap for Mad Jonas is definitely large, and he's in a world of his own right now, having an absolutely whale of a time. For Mad Jonas, one spin and he could be under pressure from these guys in behind, so it's not over just yet.
Yeah, and I think after the 2 Alfa Romeos have had the mistake, Colesbury could get himself back up, maybe into the top 10. He's got that gap down to chance. 1 and a... Oh, is it only 3 seconds, I'm guessing? Yeah, it is. Well, Robin's got 6, so Robin could drop himself to P10 because he's got the thing. As I'm running on board with Yarham, Legend is getting right on the back of that Alpha Tauri. So I believe this could be now where we could see the overtake may happen within the next lap, as they were coming down the Camel Straight, and it just seemed like the toe that Legend got was just not enough, but it was close enough.
Yeah, he's getting close as Legend, but obviously now he's close to a second off Yarham. He's going to have to reset and try and go again, although, to be fair, he doesn't need to. He's going to jump these guys on penalties anyway. He's already looking at 4th. Just keep it clean and on the black stuff and you'll be fine.
Yeah, as Robin drops down to P10 and gets a 3-second time penalty, so that's him up to 9 seconds. He is the highest driver with the most amount of penalties of 9 seconds, so not a good race finish for one of the Ferrari drivers. But
damage, yeah, he's got no front wing.
Oh, what has happened there then? I wonder, because he was battling. Oh, he's got to keep it safely rejoin, as one of the other, yeah, that's the Williams of one of the NSR drivers. He is on a 3-second time penalty now, so the penalties are coming in, but I do believe Yarham is really going to have to defend for his absolute life as they come out of La Source into El Rouge and then up into...
From what I'm seeing is that, obviously with the pressure Legends putting on Yarham now, it's forcing Yarham to try and put the pressure on Pariah.
As they now come down the Camel Straight, he's got 5 tenths now, that's down to 4 tenths, so it's kind of the situation where I think Mercedes have had it a lot in real life as well. Sitting behind a car they haven't got the straight line speed as Mercedes are used to being at the front. They haven't got anyone in front of them. Well,
I don't think that's the issue for Legend. I think he could very well get past Yaham, even try and get onto the back of Pereira if he wanted. The thing is, he doesn't need to. He knows that. He's not going to risk anything at this point.
Yeah. Obviously, you know, we would love to see an overtake be done, but I think playing it safe, as Robin has gone for the soft compound tyre, I don't think that's a very good idea. I think that's his race now kind of over. I think he's trying to do Lando Norris.
Stop raining.
Yeah, I don't think with 2 laps to go, sector 1 yellow flag, that must be Robin.
Yep, that's Robin in Eau Rouge. But interesting, it has stopped raining and the spray has just disappeared.
Yeah, as you said, as Yaham is right on the back of Price, sector 1 yellow flags again, that is Robin. I wonder if this may be now Yaham's opportunity. Sector 1 and sector 2 yellow flags. This is not going to help any driver that is in that area, as they won't be able to overtake with the yellow flags, as they now come through El Rouge, up Radion, and into the Kemmel Straight. I wonder if Yaham may go for the move. He's round about 7/10 behind. I don't think he's going to make it though, as Legend has backed off as well. He's now roughly around about 1 second behind, maybe 9/10.
Right, well, this is going to be interesting because obviously the track is dry and we can see that. We saw how quickly it went from dry to wet. If DRS gets somehow enabled, and I don't know how it could be, because look at Sector 2. It's definitely a lot wetter in Sector 2 than it is Sector 3. In fact, yeah, if DRS somehow is enabled, that would give Yaham the real chance to get ahead of Pereira. But Legend, he's still there. He's still, you know, just making sure that he can get these places on penalties. He's not pressurizing these guys. He's not trying to push. And speaking of push, looks like Scuba is trying now to push away from Carlsbury, and the gap is now 2 seconds.
Yeah, as I'm sticking on board with this battle for P4, Yaham is really closing up that gap. He's pulling the Ferrari into him now. As they come now into the bus stop chicane, I just wonder, that bus stop chicane exit may be very key for Yaham, as TTT Robin is going to get a yellow.
He's thrown it away. Sorry, yeah, Lemon's thrown it away. Sorry, the other Mercedes. Yep, Lemon has picked himself up a 3-second time penalty. Now CR7, cruise control now for the Red Bull.
Yeah, I think it is, as Robin is now out of the race as he retires. And Dylan gets another 3-second time penalty, so I believe he'll be up to 6 seconds. So it is the last lap of the Belgian Grand Prix in TTML F3, as Legend is going to close up that gap, but he's not going to get the move done as they come out now of the Kemmel Straight. Sector 1 yellow flags.
And that is, I believe that's just Robin's car coming out of the pit lane after retiring.
Oh, okay. As we're going to keep on board of Yaham, is he going to keep he may keep P5 because of Pariah having that 3-second time penalty, but he is the car in front. So I think Pariah will only drop to P5 and then Yaham to P6, while Legend gets a double overtake position, obviously because he has no penalties at the moment. But look at the gap that Mad Jonas has created for himself with 16 seconds. But
he's 16 seconds behind the top two. But yeah, CR7 crossing the line takes victory here. Give us a little bit of a weave as Lemon comes home in second place. Then we wait for Mad Jonas. He's been alone all race as the McLaren, and after a race like this, he's probably going to be happy that it's over. And he crosses the line in third place. Good podium position there for Mad Jonas. Pariah defending so well to take home 4th on track, but will drop down behind Legend, who jumps up to 4th, as Yaham will also drop to 6th. Wesker will come home in 7th, which means as DRS does get enabled, we were 1 lap away from the dry tyre. So Robin, just a couple of laps too early, mate, as Poldy there gets 8th place. NSR Gales in 9th will cross the line. Scuba is nip and tuck, but I think he is going to drop that place to Carlsbury, so Carlsbury will get P10. Scuba in 11th. Then we got Oscar coming up to the line now. He is under pressure from Dylan, but obviously with the penalties is not going to be a factor. Oscar will come home in 12th place. Dylan in 13th, and a boot full of wheel spin across the line there from Dylan. But yeah, a very interesting race, and obviously once again CR7 takes victory and extends the championship lead.
Yeah, fantastic drive there from the Red Bull driver, and yet again TTG Lemon getting himself up on the podium, with Mad Jonas getting as well that McLaren in P3. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one going into round 7, which is going to be the Japanese Grand Prix next week. I think that will be another classic in TTML F3. I will hand you over to Ivor, Bryn, Mike for the race results.
Okay, as soon as they load up for me, we're gonna go through this. So CR7 takes victory here tonight, and also takes it takes the extension of the championship lead, and I believe he's extended it by another 16 points here tonight. So CR7 cruising his way clear in the championship. TTG 11 in 2nd place, with Mad Jonas rounding out the podium. A good result for both TTG Lemon and Mad Jonas tonight. Legend kept it clean, jumped himself up into 4th place. A good result there, as Pariah in 5th, ahead of Yaham in 6th. Wesker in 7th, who will be absolutely kicking himself after pitting quite early for 2 sets of soft tyres before the rain came. Then we got Poldy in 8th, NSR Gals in 9th, Carlsbury with the fastest lap rounding out the top 10. Then we got Scuba in 11th, Oscar in 12th, Dylan in 13th, and then our non-finishers were Robin, Jagermol, Chris, FPL, Vettel, Lemmy K, and last but not least was just get the
it was Pepper. Yeah.
Oh, Free Pepper. Free Pepper. There we go.
Yeah. So, gonna come. Well, if you can remember where everyone finished, your driver of the day. Who are you gonna go for?
It's an interesting one. Honestly, I expected CR7 to be up there. I expected Mad Jonas to be up there as well. The one person I was kind of surprised at, who was able to get himself up there and be up there for such a long time, was Pariah. So honestly, I'm gonna throw Pariah as driver of the day for me.
Yeah, as I was gonna do actually the same, but I will go for Yaham. He started P19, did not set a lap, and he got himself a P6 finish. So Yaham in the AlphaTauri is my driver of the day. So that is TTML F3 done for round 6 for the Belgian Grand Prix. We'll be back next week for round 7 with the Japanese Grand Prix, but that's not all the action that we've got left for in TTML. We've got F4 and F5 tomorrow at 8 PM, which you'll see the Belgian Grand Prix in those tiers, whether the drivers will battle it on track, and you will see myself again in the F4 with TTG Conte, I think it is, and obviously you'll see Ivor, Bryn, Mike take the track in F4 for the Belgian Grand Prix. But until next time, when we hit the track in Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix, it's good night from myself, and it's good night from Ivor, Bryn, Mike.
Yep, and good night, guys.